LeBron, what has happened to you? He deferred to Kyrie Irving in the clutch every time.
And got it! Banks it in! Bang! Tie game! Oh, the king is back! LeBron James! LeBron for three in the lead! The king is alive! LeBron James taking over! Got it! 1.5 remaining. James for the win. It's gone. LeBron James at the buzzer. Stuns the Chicago Bulls, and the series is tied at 2 games apiece. I'm going to get open. Give me the ball. And I'm gonna win this game for us. And James thinking about it. Sends it. Got it. Home from LeBron James. He nailed it. James to Love. Back up top, James along three. Bang! Tie game!
How can we be pushing someone to be an MVP who for the last 3 years deferred to Kyrie Irving in the clutch every time?
James, that was a deep one too. He knew he was going to take that shot. Suns race back on deep. Here it is again for three. LeBron James taking over.
It was Kyrie Irving who is the clutch shooter on that team. It's not LeBron James.
LeBron James hooks. Got it! He did it! 1 second left! Game over!
In the biggest moments, he tends to shrink and disappear.
They got it now. Turner trying to guard LeBron for three in the lead. The king is alive.
It was Kyrie Irving.
Rebound, Thompson back to LeBron. Fakes the three, then shoots it. 5 to shoot. Azili again goes back up on him. James steps back for three. Puts it in. LeBron James from downtown. Beautifully orchestrated here.
He needed a closer, and he deferred to Kyrie Irving.
Wall. The lead is 3. Love, LeBron, and got it, banks it in.
So it is a testament to LeBron James and the power of the playoff game winner that even though we've seen him do this time and time and time again, it doesn't get old. And look, we still take plenty of other stuff about LeBron for granted, like his Teflon health or his maturity off the court. But there is something about a ball going through a hoop with the clock counting down, and not just a single game, but so much more on the line, that is flat out exhilarating. And while there are some in the media who've made a name for themselves trying to claim otherwise, the fact is LeBron has been doing this for a long time. Allow me to take you back all the way to 2006, Game 3 versus the Wizards. Cavs were down by 1 here, and LeBron does this.
Nice damage. You can go up over him if you want. Big swing. Moves left. Bends it over nothing. He got it to go.
Yep, but oh no, LeBron not done torturing Washington in that series. In Game 5, the Cavs were down by 1 again. And again, well, listen.
Foul James. LeBron to the hoop for the win. He got it. It's over. The Cavaliers have won it. You can't book this one to the Cavaliers.
And then in 2007, well, you remember this game, right? When the Cavs were trying to get past the immovable object that was the Detroit Pistons. LeBron scored 29 of Cleveland's final 30 points, capped off by, of course, the game winner in overtime. I remember standing about 30 feet from him when he hit that shot, and what was amazing was that he barely reacted to it. He was almost transfixed by the zone he was in, but trust me, everyone else was yelling plenty. Fast forward to 2009, the conference finals against the Magic. The Cavs were down by 2 in this one with only 1 second left on the clock, and it felt pretty certain that the Cavaliers would board the plane to Orlando in an 0-2 hole in the series. And yet, LeBron James.
Lewis gets it to LeBron for 3 for the win. Yes! LeBron James at the buzzer as the Cavaliers have pulled it out to tie the series, and what a miraculous shot by James!
Stan Van's face, right? Amazing. And he would keep doing it. Here he is in 2013, again in the Eastern Conference Finals, again when his team was down on the scoreboard, this time in overtime, and here he comes.
Battier gets it in. Here's James on the drive for the win.
More recently, we have the Great Chicago Bulls incident of 2015. I know Scottie Pippen here knows what I'm talking about because that is the game when then coach David Blatt tried to take a timeout he didn't have. And then, with the game on the line in the final seconds, Blatt tried to draw up a play in the huddle for someone else. LeBron would later announce in the press conference, quote, "I scratched it," and apparently for good reason, because this is what he did instead.
1.5 remaining. James for the win. It's good. LeBron James at the buzzer stuns the Chicago Bulls, and the series is tied at 2 games apiece.
Which leads us to last night. There had already been 2 controversial plays in the game's final 30 seconds, each one leaving each fan base fuming. But with less than 3 seconds to go, LeBron rendered it all moot by doing this.
Cleveland triggers in. James, 2 seconds, 1 second for the win. LeBron James delivers. That's a winner in Cleveland.
Poor Miles Turner, by the way. That face is going to live on the internet forever. And if that shot is suddenly giving you deja vu, it's because, yes, it is the same shot, basically, that you just saw from the Orlando series. Pretty much the same spot, which is, I don't know, pretty cool. Also, there is this little fun fact. That shot from last night, it did not just put the Cavs in control of the series or allow an entire city a sigh of relief as it puts off the LeBron free agency discussion for a little while longer. It moved LeBron past Michael Jordan for postseason go-ahead shots in a game's final 5 seconds. LeBron has now shot more of those and at a higher shooting percentage than MJ. It's almost like he's, well, clutch or something.
Has worked his tail off to become a pretty good clutch shooter. But what do you make of the argument for those who say, because last night LeBron game tied 83, he scores or assists on every Laker basket that point forward. What do you make of the arguments that LeBron, the late Kobe was more clutch, Michael is more clutch, KD is more clutch, but LeBron's talented but not real clutch?
Well, there's a word for those arguments. Idiotic is the word. Listen, things can be measured. We know what guys' field goal percentage is in clutch situations. We can narrow it down to final 5 minutes, final 3 minutes, final 1 minute, or if you even want the buzzer beaters. And LeBron, amongst every player ever, has the best numbers ever. The late, great Kobe Bryant took a lot of these shots and had the guts for it, but he shot a terrible percentage. Jordan took a lot of these shots and shot a good percentage. LeBron has taken more, made more than Jordan, and at a slightly higher percentage, and Jordan is the guy we hold up as the clutchest player of all time. But that's just buzzer beaters or in the final minute. I want to expand it because the Lakers did something last night, and it is a continuation of a trend that I think is the biggest story of this season, which is the Lakers this year have turned fourth quarters into what ninth innings were for the Yankees when they had Mariano Rivera. 56 times this year, regular season and playoffs, the Lakers have led going into the fourth quarter. They are 56-0, Colin. It's never been done in NBA history. LeBron, with his ability to control games, because remember, AD rests at the beginning of fourth quarters typically. They haven't lost a fourth quarter lead all year. And you might say, well, is that an outlier? Well, let's look at the 4 best in NBA history. Number 1 is this year's Lakers. Number 2 is the 72-win Bulls. Number 3 is the 68 Celtics with Russell, Jones, Hondo, an all-time great team. Number 4 on that list, the 4th best team record-wise leading after 3 quarters, the 2018 Cavs. 50-1.
Wow.
That was post-Kyrie. That was with Love in and out of the lineup. So when LeBron James, Colin, in his last 2 healthy seasons, his teams have led, entering the fourth quarter, 107 times. They are 106-1. There is no precedent for it. There is no comparison to it. It is mind-blowing. And that is the definition of clutch. Hey, whether you're up by 1 or 10 going into the fourth, do we close it out?
Yeah.
And have over his last 2 healthy years, 106-1 in that situation. It's unbelievable.
Well, that
teammates are allowed to make shots. It would be much more fair for the rest of the league. It was like, hey, you're too good. Your teammates can't make shots. But then we get to the next thing, which is someone tweeted to me, closing out a game is not just about the final minute. Same list for the final 6 minutes would be far more interesting. So I give you that, which is, again, the context is the final 6 minutes. Same thing, last 27 years. Everyone that's taken at least 60 shots in the final 6 minutes of a playoff game to tie or take the lead. Once again, not good for Steph. He's better only than Russ. He's 33%. Not good for Kobe. He was 38 of 115 for 33%. And great for LeBron. Second best of everyone only to Duncan. 59 of 143 for 41%. So final 6 minutes. Final half of the final quarter of playoff games. The entirety of both of their careers. Kobe has taken 115 of those. LeBron's taken 140 of them. LeBron's made more, made a higher percentage. So then someone else tweets to me, now do 5 seconds or less. So I gave 1 minute. They're like, nah, that's too small. So give 6 minutes. And it still shows Kobe below average, LeBron best or second best. So then it says, all right, give me, now let's go the other way. Final 5 seconds. So I do, okay, everyone that's taken at least 6 shots in the final 5 seconds of a playoff game to tie or take the lead. And what we see is Steph is 1 for 6. And by the way, again, if you're watching on the show, they cut it off after LeBron. The top 2 are actually Chris Middleton and Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller was 5 of 9. Chris Middleton was 3 of 6. But the numbers. Kobe, in these situations, final 5 seconds of playoff games to tie or take the lead. Took that shot 18 times. Made 4 of them. Amazingly, LeBron also has taken that shot exactly 18 times. Made 7 of them. It's a hard shot to make. Harden's 1 for 7. Russ is 1 for 6. Steph's 1 for 6. Durant hasn't even taken 6 of these. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that's wrong. Durant's 2 of 11, pardon me. But again, and this is where people just aren't able to process the facts. 5 seconds.
You're the only one who can process the facts.
Well, I think if you go tell people it's inarguable that LeBron is the most clutch player of his generation and that he is one of the most clutch players ever, while Kobe was inefficient and not effective at these shots, no one will believe you. And people say, LeBron's scared to take them. Takes the same amount as Kobe. No matter how you slice it, the same amount as more. 5 seconds, 1 minute, 6 minutes. Fourth quarter playoff games, tie or take the lead. People just don't want to hear it. It is not what they want to remember. And that then does bring me briefly to everyone watching this right now, saw the entirety of Kobe Bryant's career. Or almost everyone watching probably did. And yet I believe they probably have a hard time believing this data. Like, that's not what I remember. So let's extrapolate that. What does that mean for how we talk about Michael Jordan? When a lot of us, weren't locked into the NBA in the 80s. We didn't have League Pass. And Jordan's unbelievable. Obviously one of the 3 greatest players ever. You can make an argument for number 2. You can make an argument for number 1. But how much of the legend is what we want to remember rather than what actually happened? Because with Kobe clutch shots, it's a huge part of it. And with LeBron not being clutch, it's the entirety of it.
People don't care that much about facts, but the fact that it ever existed is an absurdity. LeBron's third playoff game ever. He's 21 years old. Run the video. And I think it's because so often he's getting to the basket instead of shooting jump shots. People are like, oh, that doesn't count as a buzzer beater. Sure it does. That's down one to win a playoff game, fifth playoff game ever, pardon me. That was game 5. He's 21 years old. Less than a second left to tie or take the lead. LeBron James is now 7 or 12 in the postseason. Every other MVP in the last 25 years is 6 of 45. Let that wash over you for a second. That includes Kobe, who's 2 of 6. That includes Durant, who's 1 of 6. That includes Harden, who's 0 for 5, and Russ, who's 0 for 5, and Giannis, who I think is 0 for 2. That every guy who's won an MVP in the last 25 years has made 6 of them combined on 45 attempts. LeBron's 7 of 12. Brew, it never should have existed as a narrative, and the numbers now, the only guy in modern NBA history, in fact, you know what, in all of NBA history, there's only 3 guys who could be in the conversation. West, Jordan, LeBron. And if you want to take West out of it because we don't have video of all of it, fine. It's Jordan and LeBron. And there's no third place that's close.